your top priority, or how do you regard this? Is it a good day for you or a bad day, the GDPR itself, the 25th of May of 2018? Will you remember whole the rest of your life as a nightmare or as a happy day? It was at least sunny day, huh?
Yeah, it's sunny day, and that's more or less it, because nothing really changes except for some maybe a bit more risks in fines. But if you were compliant before, so most probably you are compliant now. But if you were not compliant before, so most probably you are not today. So
you're not scared person here.
No.
Good. At least qualified to understand why the others are probably scared of no reason, probably.
No, I would say there is reason to be scared for majority of businesses, of course, but for regular person, as a natural person, this GDPR actually is good news. Okay. Maybe finally there will be some protections, and someone will start to think about protecting your data, not like before. Before it was not really, there were no business case to protect the data. I would put it like this. But my presentation is not about GDPR per se. So thank you for coming, and thank you for the opportunity to do the presentation. I switched to English at the last moment, so these are the bit different slides, but I hope they won't be problems. So, very shortly about me, I'm Agris Krusts, founder of IT Centers. We are doing security consultancy, mostly penetration tests and audits. So, there is my Twitter handle. Probably for those who are not following me and want to take action, to take part in the demo later on, I will show you it's a good idea to follow me. So, because during presentation I will post a link to demonstrate one of the OWASP problems, so you could see for itself. So, what I'm going to talk is about OWASP top 10. 2017 more or less, and how it compares to security problems in Latvia, in Latvian web applications. This is some general slide which I won't spend much time about what's different between OWASP top 10 last year and OWASP top 10 2013, but not much different. So there is some cosmetic changes, but more or less everything is the same. So data source is pen tests for a couple of last years, around 130 systems. Usually test environments that you should take in account. So many things in OWASP list doesn't apply there on test environments. Classification was according to OWASP testing guide version 4 controls. So, and detailed statistics shows only most popular problems. And I'm comparing this data for last 2 years with the data from 2011, 2014. So you probably will be able to see what's changed. What do you think, actually? Is security becoming worse or better? Who thinks security is becoming better? Of web applications in particular, I would say. Who thinks it's worst?
I would say it's becoming better, but the amount of applications is increasingly like tenfold. So the overall picture maybe might seem that it's getting worse, but the general idea and understanding, I would hope, is becoming better.
Okay, but I will answer to this question at the end. So I have the answer, so you will see for yourself as well. So. Exceptions in presentation, I won't cover insecure decellularization, which is a new topic in OWASP top 10, but for some reason is not very popular in Latvia. So in our applications, we maybe saw a couple of instances of insecure decellularization. So, and insufficient logging and monitoring again is not really issue there because it's mostly test systems. So. The first most popular, one of the first things in OWASP top 10 is injections. it used to be that around 40% of the systems were vulnerable to some kind of injection. Now it's less than 10%, and still majority is SQL injections. And good thing is that majority is very hard to find and very hard to exploit, usually totally blind SQL injections. These are, for example, payloads to see is there some problems there. So, because I'm doing demo, I will skip through these slides quite fast. So, broken authentication and session management is another topic in OWASP top 10. It's again down from 30% to 11%. And missing attributes in cookies are basically down from almost half of the systems to 5%. So it's very good. So this is actually listing what I'm going to talk about. No, okay. But still, some of the people don't learn about these things. So this is a very good example. Manabals, one of the internet portals in Latvia. Locals know what it's for. Those who are not Latvians, I would say that this is an online application where you could vote for legislative proposals, and Parliament, in theory, will vote for it. So, and these guys are very good examples. For this reason, I will do demo, so it will be very hard for me to keep the microphone. So, you are not able to see. Okay. Let's do.
Yeah. It's just for a video reason.
Okay. Let's do arrangement. So we mirror displays, so I will able to see. This is the site. Unfortunately, no English version, so you will have to do this in Latvian. So. And in the background there is a proxy server which records what I'm doing here. So no.
We are more like joking because some people may misunderstand what it is for. It is really a.
So you can see that.
Regarded as a real vote of a popular vote that should, if it decreases more than 10,000 of popular votes, the Parliament should accept it by law to at least discuss whether that could be taken as a real initiative, as a law in Latvia. So it's not just IT solution for kind of democracy.
Yeah, so this is a very good example because I'm showing these guys for many years already. So you can see how not to do session management in training. So it's a very good idea. So they are still missing secure flags. So theoretically it's possible to steal the session information if your target is in network. You have access public Wi-Fi or not things like that. But this is not the interesting part. So let's try to log in. Oh no, this is the wrong login.
Hacker now, or
no. It's everything is very legal here.
Up until this is your own responsibility. I'm kind of just holding your mic. Huh?
This is the moment you would need to follow me actually.
Oh, we are in your bank account.
Yes.
Clear that a copy of your image is online as well, not only on this screen.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't matter. So because
no one knows the code.
Yeah, no one knows the code. Probably, I could change it later on.
Yeah. Wow. Do the guys know that we do a special?
So you can see I am logged in as me. So and the trick is this. There will be the link I will post to Twitter. there is some my oh, it doesn't work. So. Delete tweet. Someone will see my personal code, but it's actually so when I click on this link here, probably I'm logged in, which is no, it's different browser, so this is telltale sign that something is not wrong. But if you click on this link on my tweet, you probably will be able to log in as me and vote as me as well. So,
really?
Yes.
That's bad.
This is kind of a rather typical problem in session handling, which is other problems, of course. If you look at the vulnerable systems, is session fixation, which is too long to explain. Logout problems, many systems, 15% systems work like this. If you click logout, you're actually not logging out of the system. It's still possible to do stuff after you are logged out if you know how to do it. Bypassing authentication, almost 20% problems with password resets, weak passwords, and so on. But still, simple things are getting less common. A sensitive data exposure, which is most popular things is browser caching. When you store some data from the website on your computer hard drive, SSL problems, sensitive information over HTTP. Again, SSL problems are up, actually, but still around 30%. And sensitive information over HTTP, probably due to Let's Encrypt and things like that, is down from 40% to 10%, which is good. Browser cache, again, is pretty interesting thing. If we are talking about personal data, this is a good example. One Latvian system where you are able to see your medical test data when you logged in. And this system actually does this browser cache in wrong way. Fortunately, I don't have any data there. So I'm logging in. So this is how it looks in browser. And what I'm doing next is just looking at the browser cache files on the computer and searching for my personal code, the first line. And this is actual browser cache file on the computer. So this problem is, of course, not the problem if you are doing it on your home computer, but if you are doing this on your work computer or in library, and as many people do in Latvia or did some time ago. So you are actually storing your personal, or I would say sensitive or even medical data, because GDPR has provisions for special provisions for medical data on the computer where it should not be stored. So probably not a good idea. And as you can see, of course, it depends on the risks, but it's around 20% of the systems where they have such kind of problems. So where they are storing the data not in the places where it should be. And bonus, actually, this system is, did you remember I posted the link to the Twitter about logging into Mana Balss? You can see the similar looking link here in browser cache as well. Fortunately, this link won't work way Mana Balss works, so if you have this link, you are not able to log in again as this particular person. So. Sensitive data exposure. Actually, this is more or less GDPR topic, but not an OWASP topic. Latvijā LV. Again, complicated talk about cookies, and this is the reason actually why you should think about cookies and why probably cookies are important, and why you should mention what kind of cookies you are using. So Latvijā LV, for some reason, is using Google Analytics. I don't know why. I would say it's a bad idea, but probably they know better. So this is screenshot from some months ago, couple of months ago. Now, as I understand, Google Analytics works in a bit different way, but still. You can see that there is some JavaScript code loaded from DoubleClick and bitswitch.net. If you look at the privacy statements on Latvijā LV, you won't see mention of double click or bit switch and things like that. So why it's risk? There is a double click counter loaded in the page where I'm doing some e-government services. And what is sent to the Google is not just your IP address or some cookie value. Actually, Latvijā LV sends via referrer header start and the beginning and the progress of particular e-service you are using. So, and usually Google could pin particular natural person to cookies they are using. So don't think they are using and interested in what kind of government e-services you are using, but probably they can do it if they want. So again, GDPR issue or not, it's a good question. So. And actually, I reported this some 9 months ago to Latvia, to VRA, which is a responsible organization who takes care of it, and it's still there. That's why I'm showing it on the slides. XML and external entities, I'm going to skip that because of time, probably. Broken access control. Directory traversal, again, it's almost not possible. It's all trick with .. but that, again, it's until someone discovers some new library where there is vulnerability, and then it will be up. Bypassing authorization, almost 10%. It's when you are able to do some stuff in the system with, without logging in, or if you don't have permission to do it, you still can do it. Direct object reference, again, is not very common. But this is something like this. When there is some files on a web server which are publicly accessible but should not be publicly accessible, again, easy for developers to do, create PDF invoice, put it on server, send a link to the user gets the file, everyone is happy, except that you can see there is number 1301, and if you go through all these numbers, you get all the invoices. Is it hacking or is it not hacking? It's hard to say. So, because there is not even authorization, so you are not overcoming some access control, so it's just publicly available. Sometimes developers are hiding information like this. They think that if they are hashing this number, it's fine. So no one will be able to go through these numbers. So again, this is hash of some small number. And if you search in Google, you can find quite a lot of things there. So it's still possible to get this. So this is direct object reference, around 10% of the systems, if you know where to look for. Broken access control, authorization problems in general is down from 40% to some. For some reason, there is no, so for some 10%, I guess. Direct object reference is down from 33% to 11%. Security misconfigurations, platform configuration errors, all backup files, accessible admin interfaces, again, quite common, I would say. And using components with known vulnerabilities, it's 239 instances in 130 systems. So basically, if you install software, and you should take in account that these are the statistics from the pen tests where someone made usually new system and asked for opinion, is there security hole? So it should not be like this probably. But as you know, that a couple of months ago we had Drupal with couple of vulnerabilities, and it even got the name Drupalgeddon or something like that. So people are not updating these things, and especially JavaScript libraries. If you develop application with JavaScript and there is all JavaScript library, probably it will be there for years to come. So. And at the end, cross-site scripting. Reflected is 21%, which is, and DOM-based is XSA is 7%, which is not really issue because most modern browsers are blocking it, but stored is some 20%. Again, it's a bit down, dynamic is down from 36% to 46% to 36%. And, but now these cross-site scripting things are more risky because new applications, is it, to demonstrate the issue, is it typical, it looks like typical web application, right? There is browser, there is web server, there is application, there is database. If you look for cross-site scripting applications, vulnerabilities, you usually look for this cross-site scripting in this particular application. But in reality, picture is a bit complex. So there is front-facing web applications, there might be some internal web applications and so on. So cross-site scripting actually, if you test this first one against cross-site scripting, it will be fine, most probably because it's internet-facing and you won't find anything. But sometimes you could submit JavaScript code to internal one and wait for a couple of hours, couple of days, couple of weeks, and your JavaScript payload will be executed. So the question is about cross-site scripting, how to classify it then. If you are testing this front-facing one, but vulnerability is in some internal one. So. And similar situation is about some external JavaScript libraries and things like that. So cross-site scripting could be in those too. So if you are using all JavaScript libraries, you have risks there. So in summary, injections actually number of issues in 130 systems is not very high. So still broken authentication session management is very high. Sensitive data exposure is very high. XML external entity is new for OWASP top 10, but usually could be classified as some kind of injection. Again, is very rare. So. And known vulnerabilities is quite a lot of, actually. So I would say, in general, systems are getting better from security perspective. It's more secure, but most probably not because developers are doing a better job, but most probably they are using frameworks more often. And if you look at these injections, cross-site scriptings, it's framework issues. Framework will help you, but if you do authentication and session management or access control wrongly, in many cases, frameworks won't help you. So if there is no framework, then it's still as was before. And same goes for components with known vulnerabilities. So you have to update your software, more or less. So, thank you. Questions?
If there are some questions, you can speak also in Latvian, no problem. There is a translation available. There is interpreter for those who will, if you want to switch to Latvian later on, and then it's up to you. But, okay. Questions, comments, some misunderstandings, objections? Yes, please.
Are you informing every website you find with similar security vulnerabilities?
The statistics is about clients, so it's for that reason I was not able to show you examples for particular ones, and I found these some examples. So I informed Latvijā. To be honest, I don't inform Mana Balss or Datamed because these are probably not worth to inform them, so they won't be fixed because that is the nature of things. So.
Okay, do you think it would be beneficial if there would be a central process? I don't know, maybe there is via CERT LV, if you report all these kinds of findings to them and they would take control to redistribute them further to the website owners and so.
And CERT is pretty angry on me about this reporting of the issue, so they don't ask me to participate in their seminars anymore. So, yes, the reason is that I think it's actually good, not very good idea, I would say, because if you are able to report any issue on any system, maybe it would be a good idea. But then again, there are issues with GDPR So some random hacker actually gets permission to hack any system and do like this. And the problem with the proposed legislation was that you are basically free from criminal charges if you report things to CERT-LV, except if these are protected systems, some special infrastructure systems. But because special infrastructure systems are state secret, you are not able to know is it special infrastructure system. So when you report something to CERT, you actually don't know. You are liable to criminal charges or not liable to criminal charges, which is nonsense.
You yourself could actually do another way how to clarify for yourself, is it a top secret or not?
You are not able.
These hacking things.
So I don't think you are able to know which is which. No, state secret. It's not top secret. It's state secret. So if you don't know which system is state secret.
Yeah, well, sometimes time comes and all secrets could be disclosed. No? Now, questions? No objections? Good. Then we say thank you to you, Agri. This is a small, nice pateicība in Latvian certificate that you were here, and also to say thank you for your insert and input, and we will speak to these people in CERT.LV that they really understand how good you are and what you do, and that there are good things also to, well, include everyone, even if you sometimes probably you make some pain in their heads some days.